Hello from Independence of the Seas, one of the Freedom class ships. I'm going to do a little bit of a tour here. We're in Southampton Harbor, Southampton, England. So let's go ahead and do a ship tour. A little bit nitty gritty. On a back-to-back process right now, so the ship should be relatively empty. And let's show you what they have here on the ship. So starting off up here, this is the Crown Lounge. This is the back entrance of the Crown Lounge. So if you are Diamond or higher in the status, you have access to this lounge most of the time. On a busy sailing, Diamond Plus and Pinnacle is what you need to be for the dinner time plus. I know that's controversial, but there are more and more high status members because they're lifetime status members, or the membership lasts lifetime, so Royale's running into that problem. But that's the lounge there. On the other side, there's the suite lounge. And right here we have the sports court and the rock climbing wall right on the back. This is technically deck 13. Crown Lounge and the Viking Crown Lounge, which is where the nightclub is, we'll end with that later, is on deck 14. So we have some spots for the kids to play outside of the sports court. I guess there's nothing saying adults can't do this, but you gotta crouch quite a bit. But it's a fun little climbing device here. And we have one flow rider, whereas the Oasis class ships have two. And then we have our slides right up there, obviously closed right now, but you take this spiral staircase up, slide, you can race down. Also have this cool number, which is the sky pad. Not all ships have a sky pad here. And I believe originally the sky pad was used for a virtual reality kind of trampoline experience with a headset, but now it's just normally open. Obviously they have me gated off right here, but normally it's open for a there's some games up there. On some ships they have yoga classes and other stuff up there, but on the other side of the float rider down here, they do their maintenance in the morning here between cruises. And there's a nice little lounge. It's just chairs, but there's some loungers over there off the aft of the ship up here on the top deck. So when the ship's moving, you can see the wake and all the stuff behind the ship. Here's some additional seating for what I believe to be Johnny Rockets. Like, otherwise, bring some snacks. Here's some bar stools and some seating, so it's a nice touch because Johnny Rockets is right up here ahead. We see the main pool area here. Because if you're running around the track, they have all these loungers that are encroaching on space, and they also have built these little casitas, these daybed terraces that charge you, and they take up full half of the track. So imagine you're running, people are lounging off this, their towels that which could take up in this lane, and then if you're in this lane, it's completely absorbed by that. So don't expect to actually be able to run on this track, on this ship. Oasis class ship has a great actual running track, and there are even some older ships than Independence that have some good running tracks, but this one does not. So then if we look from this end of the main pool deck, we can see where the screen comes into play. See all the pools and hot tubs we have right on the main deck, as well as loungers. And then we have the Sky Lounge, which is the main bar right there on the pool deck. Continuing on to the back of deck 12, again we see more relatively unobstructed track, but again it's hard to do a full lap with all the blocks. We have the top of the solarium here. So that's the top view of the solarium. Independence and Freedom and Liberty do have these nice cutout whirlpool hot tubs over the end of the ship with panoramic views that some of the older solariums don't have. But aside from that, it's pretty similar to a lot of the solariums. You also see the solarium bar down there and showers and just pretty much one pool with a whirlpool hot tub on each side. If we continue up from deck 12 up to deck 13, the only way to access this part I've talked about in my Freedom of the Seas tour, similar, is with a set of stairs on this side and a set of stairs on the other side. As far as I can tell, there's no elevator access at all. So if mobility is an issue, this might be a part of the ship you don't access very much, but we have all these loungers. So plenty of place to get sun here on the forward part of the ship, deck 13. And then we have Independence Dunes, which is actually a pretty nice mini golf course here. And what I will say that is nice from a player's perspective, these are normally filled with the clubs and the balls. What's nice from the player's perspective is that these balls here, even have a hole, these are real golf balls, real painted golf balls, just like you would mini golf. On land, on the Oasis class ship, they have the lighter foam biodegradable ones. This is just like a fountain shower feature. Didn't see anyone using it these cruises because it's not that warm. It's not as hot as the Caribbean out here and leaving out of the UK. But for the experience of the player, I see why they have the foam and the biodegradable ones to prevent balls going into the ocean and things like that. But the experience of the player, it makes a much better mini golf experience to have a ball with some actual weight and consistency to it. So it's actually, we played it several times. Last cruise, it was very nice. So we will keep continuing on here and not disrupt the flow. Continue on here, we have on the left the entrance to descend down to Casino Royale. And on the right we have Ale and Anchor, which is the pub style bar. And then Vintages, which is the wine bar. And we have the obligatory random car on the promenade with stuffed animals in it to take pictures with. I never quite got the stuffed animals in there. If you were going to take a picture with a classic car, it kind of, for me, it ruins the type of aesthetic you're going for. But hey, everyone's got their own taste. We have Sugar Beach ice cream over here, which is not included. And then we have Cafe Promenade for drinks. Little bar. And eat. So there is food at Playmakers, it is not included. Obviously the alcohol is also not included. You can get both here at Playmakers. And then we're entering Casino Royale. Again, this is deck 4. And we have the machines here. Obviously the casino is not open while we are in port. It's almost never open in any port. It's usually only open when the ship is in international waters, but there are different regulations for different ports. There's different regulations for different distances. Continue up. Here, this is an area most people don't go to, or at least it isn't really advertised or shown. But if you go up the stairs towards the forward of the ship, on either side, on either the port or starboard side, on these ships, the Freedom class ships, yeah, we are gonna head up. All right, I just left Casino Royale and we'll also have a Casino Royale tour for those interested more in the casino specifically, and I'll leave it in the description below. Now we're gonna head up to the Viking Crown Lounge. There is a ping pong area right here on the side of the ship, so the aft of deck 12, there's again Adventure Ocean Aquanauts right here, but right on the outside, Aquanauts are the age 3 to 5. We have 3 different ping pong tables with paddles, and if we keep going back through here, look, you can see the Explorers 6 to 8. Keep going through the back of the ship and we are back. And there's the Voyagers 9 to 11. So this is all Adventure Ocean on deck 12. So we can do backdoor entrance here, back to the aft of the ship, go up from 12 to 13, and we're back to the flow rider and the water slides and the rear entrance to the Diamond Lounge if you have access to that. If not, you can still get to the Viking Crown Lounge by walking past the sports court right here. We have a shower. And this is the other entrance, the other stairwell to the sky pad, which is right up there. So I think there's also a little elevator lift I passed, and they're setting up for pickleball, which if you do like pickleball, I will say, all the pickleball players out there, Independence of the Seas has the worst pickleball lines in the entire fleet that I have seen so far. I mean, go ahead and look at this and tell me what you can see for pickleball lines. They're white, they're the same color as the basketball lines, they're also the same color as the as another set of lines, so it's really hard to tell. And here's a closer up look at the rock climbing wall. But I won't show this whole thing because it's kind of boring and tedious, but if you walk through here behind the rock climbing wall, this is deck 13. This will bring you right to a stairwell. But otherwise, this is the entrance to the Crown Lounge for Diamond and above members. So anyway, that's my tour of Independence of the Seas. I hope you all enjoy so much listening to it and watching and following along. And I hope it was helpful. And feel free to watch my other ship tours or the other channel content. Thanks for everyone who's been along for the ride as I journey to pinnacle status here on Royal Caribbean. So thank you so much and have fun out there.